Hi, welcome to my studio. Today I wanted to take a little bit of time and do a sketchbook tour. Finished this sketchbook a couple months ago and I thought why not just flip through it, show the process, the materials I used, and how I treat it in general, how I treat the sketchbook practice. I personally like seeing how other artists work, and when I open YouTube, this is the type of content that I want to see. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go.
Okay, so this is the second time I'm filming it. The first time the reflected light killed it where I sat with my sketchbook, so I needed to bring a board, create some kind of angle so the reflected light won't kill my drawings and you could see them as they are intended to look like. This sketchbook is a brown tone Strathmore A5 sized. I use mostly pencils of all kinds in the sketchbook and also a white chalk to really use the maximum of the capacity of the paper and the darkest pencils that I can get my hands on. So I was using Blackwing pencils, some nitro black pencils, and now lately I've been trying matte graphite pit uh, pencils. So, in this first sketch that you will see now, I tried charcoal and white chalk. Before that, I tried charcoal only once, so I thought this is brown paper. I could get really dark with charcoal. Let me try this, and I didn't like it, so I stopped midway, as you can see. This kind of sketch was an idea I had for a painting, and I wanted to try the paper to see how it was. Afterwards, I fell in love with this type of sketchbook, so I ordered some more. But in this first sketch, I didn't really enjoy the charcoal, so I stopped midway. But I decided to try again and see, like, I saw the potential it has with achieving really dark tone. So I tried again with another idea that could be more kind of specific and not a landscape art, and tried the charcoal again, and I actually kind of liked it, but as you will see later, I dropped the charcoal completely and moved to pencils. This kind of sketch I'm really inspired by because it's kind of an imaginative scene, and I really trying to push nowadays my work towards this. As you will see when the video rolls on, I'm doing more of a landscape art. I'm a landscape artist, but there is also this side of me that wants to try this kind of imaginative work. And yeah, so I tried it. I enjoyed doing it a little bit more than the last sketch. Finished it, used some charcoal, white chalk, and sepia on the tree, and moved along. So this is a sketch I did from observation. I used pencils and white chalk. I had something like 45 minutes, so I was just playing with the paper, still getting used to the sketchbook, nothing too serious. And here I was starting to understand the potential this sketchbook has with doing small thumbnail sketches for my paintings. And here I pop up the final version. So I started doing a lot of this kind of stuff, as you will see down the road in the sketchbook. The ability of this paper, because it's brown and I got some really dark pencils and some white chalk, it creates a large variety of possibilities, and it's kind of a quicker way to get the full picture of what I imagine in my mind, so then I can push it forward towards the final idea I had. Now, this fish and the whale on the other side are both sculptures I've made, and I tried to sketch them for the kind of imaginative realism type of work I tried to do. And I didn't really like both of them. On this whale, I tried using fountain pen, and sepia pencils. So it was kind of different work than I normally do. So here is a line work for a sketch I didn't do. And on the other side, this is a thumbnail sketch, elaborated thumbnail sketch, I would say. Not so thumbnail, but a bigger sketch for a painting I did that I will pop up on the screen right now. And I really tried to push here with the foreground and background differences. I used a new pencil, a black pencil, like black colored pencil, to get the foreground really dark, and it worked great. So I later adapted it to all my further sketches in the sketchbook. I take notes up above for the painting and what I want to change. And so I tried really to use this paper for the maximum. Two horse sketches for a painting. So in this kind of time, this sketchbook really became just where I try and express ideas and see how they work, working my way through it. And so all of this is kind of complementary to my actual work, which is oil painting. As you can see, this is the final piece. And I really started to like this kind of process. I sketch in the sketchbook, then I do a color study, then I go about and do the final piece. And this kind of work or process is really liberating, and it's really like you dive deep into the process. Here I tried a different kind of head for the horse, which I didn't do also, as you could see. Yeah. Another 2 pages, kind of more imaginative work that I started and didn't finish both of them. Yeah, I had this idea, I was kind of excited about both of them, but it didn't really click once I began, so I just dropped them. I really do think that if you are a starter and not a finisher, that you would insist on finishing these kind of sketches, but I know myself, I finish things, and if I don't feel it inside, I just move along. Here, this is the puppy of my friend. It was a couple of years ago, so now it's not she's not a puppy anymore, but I really tried to express the volume of this puppy with white chalk only. So with the amount of pressure I use on the paper to create the volume only with white chalk, which was kind of newer to me. 2 imaginative works. Sometimes I have this kind of ideas or visions, and both of them I just immediately went to the sketchbook. Here in this one, I have used for the first time the Blackwing black pencil, which you can see in the background and how dark the duck is. So in this kind of work, I'm learning from page to page how this page work. I'm getting to know my material, and I'm really like getting to know how to use it best. And usually I have this kind of idea, and nowadays I move through 2 sketchbooks before I come and do this kind of drawing. But I had this idea, I just went across and did it in the sketchbook, spent the time, really enjoyed it. I called it Clouded because the duck is surrounded by clouds, and clouds symbolizes thoughts for me. And another one, not so much, but I just saw this stone rabbit when I was wandering in the forest near my parents' house, and I thought about it, that it would be cool if I put horns on it and do this kind of scene for him. So I just drew it. Here I tried to do a thumbnail sketch for idea I had, and it didn't work out at all. And here you can see the pelican, a kind of imaginative pelican, because I put a mountain on its back, but I really tried to express the form again with the white chalk, only to use it better, and I really liked how it turned out. So this is my dog, Johnny, and I drew him first time in the sketchbook. I always draw him in other sketchbooks, and I do in watercolor or in just in pencil. And this one, I really try to show how dark he is, and it's like he's popping up from the sketchbook. He looks real. In the eyes, I used sepia pencil, and I really enjoyed doing this sketch. And I really I like drawing him from time to time. He always makes this kind of funny poses. He's always looking so serious, and I capture him with my camera from time to time, and getting inspired to draw him. And here is another scene imaginative scene that I had in my mind, and I just went to the sketchbook and captured it. This one will become a painting eventually. I always feared the outcome, but things are looking better now. So from now on, this marks a change in my life. I began a new job as a guide in Achula Lake, which is a natural reservation here in Israel. And here is the painting of the sketch. And I also began working like 1 month later after I did this sketch with a gallery which asked for more landscape paintings, and then the whole of the sketchbook will be filled with landscape art. So to get to know the birds in the natural reservation, I started sketching them, of course. And as you will see in the couple of next pages, I just drew some birds that are common in the natural reservation, in the lake. And I was really inspired by the lake, by the animals that can be found there. And it was a surreal experience to just be there on the shifts and experience the changing weather, the different animals that come and go. Yeah, it was amazing for my art, amazing for my soul. And here is another one. It's like his bigger brother. On the left side, I take notes of information, like biological information and stuff. And I used mostly sepia pencil on it. And on the right side, I did a drawing of Achula Lake, which is the most beautiful place almost in the northern part of Israel. And it did later become a painting that went to the gallery, which sold on an auction house. It was an amazing experience for me. And from now on, these kind of drawings are all just preliminary drawings for me. Some more bird sketches. On the right, a kingfisher. On the left, ibis. On the kingfisher, I tried to use again this sepia fountain pen. I didn't really like it. It could have a lot of potential, but I'm not used to it, so yeah. And here on the right, another preliminary drawing I did for a painting for the gallery. Here is the painting. And I'm really enjoying myself with this kind of drawings, getting prepared to do the paintings. And nowadays, it's almost like my favorite part, like coming up with the idea and then bringing it into life on the sketchbook before the oil painting phase. It's just amazing. And as you can see, like the page, we've flipped a lot of pages, and I'm getting very familiar with the page here, with the paper, to be correct. And I'm starting to really use it to its maximum capacity, like here for real. And all of these kind of sketches that you see, most of them are taking like 5, 6, 7, some of them 10 hours long sketches. I really sit patiently and work my way through, working out problems, thinking about the composition, just enjoying. I really like my sketchbook time, like practicing drawing. I mostly do it on the mornings once I wake up, before doing the actual work, like the actual oil painting work. And for years before making a living out of art, I would do a drawing session each morning. First thing I do, and before I'm going to work. Yeah, I think it really helped me push my art to the next level. Like, it helped me get so familiar with my subject matter, with many subject matters, because landscape art is not just one subject matters, but it's many. So it really helped me get familiar with it, just understanding better values, understanding better um, the hierarchy, composition. All of this stuff can be figured out here in the sketchbook, and I really, really enjoyed this time of practicing, of just chilling with the sketchbook and a cup of coffee. What could be better? Tell me. Another two preliminary drawings that later became paintings. Here I added another member to the team, the white ink on this right sketch. After I finished the drawing, I put some dots of white ink and it really pushed the light, so I just added it and I'm using it now constantly in my drawings, saving it for like the last highlights and stuff. And I continue to experiment as I go through the sketchbook. I never settle on one material or something like that. I always bring more and more materials to try in the sketchbook. Now I want to try a little bit more ink nowadays. But yeah, so it's never boring, I constantly try new things. It's like being a child again here in the sketchbook, and nothing is too serious, nothing is too final. I could always do just another sketch. It's not something that I'm selling afterwards. So it's really liberating. This whole practice is just really liberating. Here is another sketch of my dog, a half-finished sketch. I really liked the softness of the pencil. I used very, very soft pencils and really darkened quite few areas, so I really enjoyed it. And another preliminary drawing. This is the forest next to my parents' house. I spend there a lot of time. Another one of the forest. This is one of my favorite places on earth, so many drawings and paintings of mine are inspired by this place. And here are flamingos that I photoshooted as a guide in Achula Lake, the job I told you before. I started this sketch and I was really inspired to make a painting out of it, but it will need to wait a little. Another duck, tundra duck, which is just magnificent. I really liked witnessing one, and yeah, I just drew it here in the sketchbook. And here is something a little different. I tried to do a self-portrait and gave up halfway, and now seeing it I could just continue. I don't know why I stopped in the middle. On the right I started another sketch that I stopped of a gray heron. Here is a Hula Lake, stormy skies. This one is really minimal, just the essentials to just get the feeling of the place. I wanted it to become a painting, but I didn't really like it in the end. Another one, northern view. Here is the final painting. This one is a really a great breakthrough for me as a painting and as a sketch. I really enjoyed doing it. This drawing became a painting really recently, like 1 month ago, and I did this sketch a year ago plus. And the last page, I wanted this also to become a painting. Maybe one day it will be. And in general, I really think that a sketchbook practice is essential for any artist, and I myself try to nurture it as much as I can. I hope you enjoyed seeing this sketchbook of mine, and I hope to see you in the next video as well. Thanks for watching.